TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
You're live with your talk show divas. Sit back and relax and enjoy. Exciting, informative, and sexy. So get ready for your talk show divas.
Hello, 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 Facebook. Welcome back to Talk Show Divas. Filming here in Douglasville, Georgia at TV 1061. I would like to give a quick shout out to our producer, Felix Washington, and Adriana, who keeps it working back there in the booth. Kay Renee has a couple little shout outs over here. So our diva Kay Renee wants to say hi to her brother, loyal fan and watcher. We love you. Who is he?
Hey, Reggie.
Hey, Reggie.
Hey, Reggie.
Yes,
we love you.
All the way from Bayonne, New Jersey.
Watches every single week.
I love you. Thank you so much for
Reggie.
watching.
Thank you. And
love
Reggie,
you.
make sure you comment. And I also want to shout out my mom. She watches every single week. Kim, I see you're watching right now. And I also see my daughter, Fifi. I see you watching right now, too. I want to shout out to Valerie, because I'm going to tell you why. Because she actually introduced me to our awesome guest. And Monet, who's my friend from LA, who drove in.
My husband's watching.
And
Hey, Brandy's husband.
So this is our shout out section. So I know we normally do time to unwind, but we got a hot guest today that is out of town and speaking all over the world a lot. So we were able to get him. So we want to get him. So Kay Renee, Diva, what's your name? Diva Brandy.
Girl, you better know who I am.
Welcome back, our Diva Data. We are going to meet Nick Devereux over here. All right, trans advocate, motivational speaker, and fashion consultant. So you can dress us for our next show.
Hey, that's what I do. Hey, ladies.
Hey, all right. You looking good. I mean, like, I wish I could, like, zoom in on him.
They can zoom in.
Because he is looking fly, y'all.
Head
for
to
real.
toe.
Hey, I'm a fashion guru myself.
Hey, I
so,
see
you know,
you.
we could
I
work
see
together.
you.
You know,
Let's
I'm
work
saying
this
what's
out.
up.
I heard.
Come
Let's
on.
work it
Let's
out.
do this thing. We can get our multi-million dollar company going, okay?
900 million.
Hello. Okay, business deals in the works.
In
This
the
is how
works.
Black excellence works. But Nick, tell us, what makes you so special? Why are you on our show today?
Oh, man. I have no idea what makes me special. I don't consider myself to be special, though. I think that...
Why are you interested?
Listen, I don't know. I'm interested because I look like this. Yeah, right? I'm typically the element of surprise. But, yeah, no, really, I want to take a moment to say thank you, beautiful queens, for having me here
you're welcome.
in this
He was talking to
opportunity.
me.
All three
Girl,
of you
if you
queens.
say queens with an S, baby,
Queens
just
with
get
an
it
S.
together.
Everyone's looking at me.
So, see, here we go. All three beautiful queens. But I think Dana said it best. I think one of the most inquisitive things is that I am a transgender male.
Okay.
For those that don't know, it means that I was born female and I have since transitioned to full male, which means I'm legally a male.
Okay.
I identify as male. I live as male. Birth certificate, everything has been changed as a male.
Wow.
Just a real quick about
You
that.
have a beard.
I do have a beard. I'm a
And
man.
a penis.
That is so sexy.
And I do. So yeah, I mean, really. So here's the thing. I'll give it to you. You know, I know ladies kind of finicky about age, but I'm 44.
What?
I actually did not take the steps to transition until I was 39. So I've only been transitioning for 5 years now.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about being able to travel around the world and even locally here. I am originally from Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Hey.
Nice.
And I've been in Atlanta for about 18 years. Right out of college, I came here, was recruited here to start my career, and I've been here ever since. But that said, I am a radio analyst, a regular monthly at V103/WAOK with Robert Patello. So that's pretty. And there I serve as the trans analyst / advocate. And what we do is we try to just bust those myths about transgender people as a whole, you know. And so that's what makes me special.
That's very
And that is
special. But
special.
I do, because even when I introduced you to the ladies, And I clearly said transgender. It's like, so transgender or transsexual? Or is he this? It's like, so, I mean, I said transgender. So people are still confused on all those LGBTQRXY.
Is there such thing as transsexual?
So, you know, that's an 80s term.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty much far-fetched now. It's antiquated. It's more on the derogatory side.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
And it's okay. That's the reason why I'm here to help educate you guys. You know, everybody. Educate everybody. So transsexual was one of those things that we thought of back in the cross-dressing years, back in the early 80s, late 80s, even early 90s. But now we've transcended, and we've moved into this new era of terminology, and there's so many.
That would be non-binary, right? Non-binary was that? Because I still have male friends that dress.
That's real good. But cross-dressing is still that's a valid term. Cross-dresser is a valid term. Transsexual isn't, dyke isn't, you know, those are the derogatory terms. So you have
butch, stud,
and that's okay. Butch and stud. So a dominant lesbian would be referred to as a stud or butch female, not a dyke. Okay. A cross-dresser would probably back then would have been a transsexual. A transgender female or a transgender woman is the same, just the reverse. She was a male born biologically or given at birth assigned gender male, and she has now transitioned fully into a female. Now, when we get into the little gray areas is when we start worrying about or asking many questions about surgeries. Have you had this surgery to justify your femininity or your masculinity? At that point, it's not really your business unless we are about to get into an intimate situation.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So, you know, but I'm okay with those type of questions if they are preferenced in the right direction. But when they're just rude, basically that's what solidifies me as a male. That's not. Regardless if I haven't said my T, regardless if I had my surgeries or not, and I will, but that doesn't matter for any trans person. Period. Non-binary could be just exactly those who cross-dress, or even those who actually live as a male. Most non-binary. Well, you have females too, but male or female who are queer. So they don't really like to fit in a box.
That's you, juice box. Juice box.
Are those the ones we don't
absolutely.
Are those the ones we don't have pronouns for?
They, them. Yeah.
Okay.
And so my pronouns are clearly he or sir, Mr. or better yet Nick.
Okay.
Right. So yeah. So.
And you like women.
Absolutely. I love women.
So when did you...
I consider myself a heterosexual male.
Period. No period. And if we did not know this information, obviously...
I don't think that it would have been a question. I think when I walked in the door, I kind of heard, hey, as a guy that just came in.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm talking about. Oftentimes, everybody, in society, they sit next to trans people all the time, and they have no idea. They don't come up with these preconceived notions until you... let them know who you are. But prior to that, funny thing, and I want to throw it back in your court, is I did a radio show at WAOK just a couple weeks, Father's Day. Yeah, Father's Day show. Because, by the way, I've been married and I have two kids.
Okay.
We'll talk about that if you guys want to.
Absolutely.
But,
I'm curious.
But I said that to say, on that show, as the trans advocate, they didn't introduce me as that, right? And I was just on as Father's Day talking about Nick being a father. So some of the people that have so many issues with me being trans, some of the people that are there,
have issues
every week or every month, every time I'm there, is the callers that are there faithfully. One individual guy, he was everything I said. I agree with Nick. I agree with Nick. I agree with Nick. And oddly enough, after the show, we told him, well, that's the same Nick that you bashed and called she and called all of these derogatory terms. He's like, I didn't agree with what she had to say, type of situation. You're going to encounter those type of people all the time, and I'm okay with that.
How do you deal with that though? Like, how do you not want to bust them upside their head real quick?
So I'm from the hood, but not really from the hood.
Okay.
But so I can get about it, but not really. I have too much to offer to society, my kids, and the mentorship program that I'm a part of. By the way, I've been in corporate America 20 plus years, and I, as a program manager for the government, I don't have time to argue with peasants. I just don't. I'll give an opportunity.
Does it affect you mentally? Like, do you have to bring yourself out of that sometimes?
You know, I have to be real. I am human. I'm human first. I have emotions. I have feelings. And if being a man, you still have feelings, regardless if you want to show those emotions or feelings. So absolutely. You know, sometimes the debate gets a little tough. And I've got to reach to my spirit, you know, my spiritual connection to know how to deal with it. And sometimes I shut down, and then sometimes I know how to move forward. But it's a hard task. It's not easy.
Are you? Go ahead.
You seem confident. So when did you start being like an advocate, and when did you start like mentoring, and when did you start to even realize?
So it's funny you would say that. So as a dominant lesbian, there was houses. I don't know if you ladies seen Pose or any of the
I've watched
FX.
a little bit of Pose.
So Pose, take some time. Watch a couple episodes
I
of Pose.
agree.
It'll help you understand
Okay.
the LGBT, and I'm gonna stop there, community, where it all started. I said that to say, as a mentor, I had to derive from somewhere else. So I've always been a leader in terms of for gay youth or LGBT youth, right?
Okay.
So we started things called houses. That's what you'll hear in the ballroom scene. Houses. Typically, it was a feminine female, and more of a dominant female, which is myself. That was my ex-wife and myself. We created this house. It was called the House of Buchanans, where we mentored other lesbian and gay youth that, for whatever reason, they were in, you know, their family ostracized them, or they were out here in Atlanta with nowhere to go. And we basically ran that house as if, and they didn't physically live with us, but they were there all the time. Like, we had meetings. There were several of them I taught for their first time how to actually wear a button-down shirt for the gentlemen. And when you go to church, you know, even though the new church you can wear jeans, I was born in Baptist church way back when there was no jeans. It was, you know, you had no sneakers. But, you know, we taught them, and they'll say this is the first time they ever traveled outside of Atlanta. We provided for them when they needed, you know, to be provided. We were there for emotional, you know, those times. Talking to them, helping them understand how to talk to their parents, how to accept the not being accepted. You know, we were loving them as their parents, and they called us mom and dad, you know, and the other ones brothers and sisters and aunties. So we created our own family tree, and still to this day, that was circa 2003, and we're still. I'm still known as Daddy Nick, even throughout my transition. But see, I've always been known to them as the pronoun he, even in my female form.
When did you take on that pronoun? Was it in your teen?
So in college. I think at college I had the first lesbian experience, and from there I knew I liked what? Women?
In college?
In college.
You were a late bloomer.
See, exactly. Exactly. I have some stories in high school where I used to look, but I was from a pretty well, you know, formed background, so I didn't, you know, all I knew is what daddy and mom, and I saw that, and that's what I did.
Right.
That was what I did, and there was no reason for me to do anything else. So any time I had a thought of looking at one of the young ladies you know, walking through the hall or anything, I pushed it to the back of my head. You know, I had a boyfriend and I've never been a jump the brook type of person. I was probably in two biggest relationships. I had a boyfriend from 8th grade all the way to my first experience in college, because I don't jump back and forth. The minute I had that experience, it was tough, but I said, look, I think I'm gay. You know, type of situation. And then I was married for 14 years. So, to a female.
To a female.
Yeah, so,
wait, was it legal then at the time when you
it wasn't legal. We did a domestic partnership, and we just lived, and it's why it's so funny that, you know, and I understand people, you know, wanting things to be legal in the way the laws have changed. But back, we started in '94, and we broke up somewhere around 2007, 2008. Listen, our bank accounts was combined. We had life insurance policies. The kids was under, you know, I worked in corporate America. She was, you know, a cosmetologist, and when she stopped, she was a stay-home mom. And, you know, everything I did, the things that the man was supposed to do, I provided for my family, my kids. My kids aren't biologically mine, but you can't tell me that. You can't tell them that. When I met her, my daughter was 2.5 months, and my son was 8, and they're still my kids to this day. They're my kids.
How do they feel about?
They've always looked at me as he. I've always been, you know. So when I had that conversation, it was like, okay, and like,
But that's interesting that you're not a person like, because you know a lot of people say, "Oh, I knew from when I was 6." Or,
Right.
So to say
some
that
people, and that's what makes me so different. And sometimes I sit and wonder, I'm like, man, what happened to me?
And then you get it quick.
Like,
You as soon as you feel like, all right, I'm
honest to
gonna change
God,
this real
say,
quick.
man, what? No, and I'm not. You know, I'm not gonna. Most people don't. A lot of people don't like the fact that I tell the story that I had a boyfriend. You know, that I was a female. You know. For real, it's my truth. It's who I was, you know. Now, I could get into the dirty and say, anytime he humped on me, I hated it. It was a situation where it was just because that's what we was doing. We was going through the motions. But he'll tell you, I dressed like him. I'll never forget, because his family was well off, my family was well off. Guess was it during that time. And we had Guess jumpers, you know, the jumpers that you wear, and the Nike shoes that you wear, and we looked just alike. He wasn't bothered, I wasn't bothered. Yeah. And like I said, I can't say that when I think back that I didn't have those thoughts of women, but I just act like it didn't exist. I didn't act like it didn't exist because in my household it wasn't the norm. We didn't. Daddy and Mama. I was raised by my grandparents. They didn't talk about it. All I saw, but I connected. Even though my grandmother was my heart in terms of my manhood and my personality, I grew up more like my grandfather, watching what he did for women, and that was immediately once I finally identified with, I am a dominant person. I immediately became a gentleman, a provider, immediately out the gate for all women.
And your parents, what are their?
So my mother's still, my mother's still living. My mom had me early at 15. Hence the reason why my grandparents raised me. My grandmother passed away, which was my heart and soul, 3 years ago. And my mom and I are now closer than we've ever been before. My father passed away when he was 21. He got killed when he was 21.
Okay.
So I don't know. I look just like him though.
Are you religious? Do you like? How do you feel?
So I feel like
your religion.
I feel like I'm spiritual. I was born in the Baptist church, as I said earlier. I believe in my Heavenly Father. That's where I believe in that. I believe in everything that I was taught in terms of having faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the things are not seen, the evidence of things not seen. But I have my own relationship with God. I feel like I always say, growing up in church, there was, and this is the funniest thing, people go, oh, you're supposed to be gay, you're going to hell, or you shouldn't change your body, you're going to hell, whatever the case may be. And I say, well, you know what? Y'all used to love Twisted Keith in the choir. He was the musician of music. And he was gay. Everybody knew he was gay, but he was the head.
As long as we talk about it,
right. He was very flamboyant, and it was okay. And then I started saying things like, "So there's millions and millions and millions of gay people in this world. So are you telling me my faith should make me believe that all of these millions of people, no matter what great things they're doing, no matter if they're living the straight and narrow, whatever they're providing to the universe, that they're automatically, because they are gay or lesbian, they're going to hell? Nah, you're not going to get me to believe that." And because of that, I was able to live my life a little bit differently and not debate too much with what the Bible says.
I'm actually more shocked that you're 44 than you're transgender. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't. Please do not let me offend you, because I don't know,
Let's go. I'll provide you with the right terminology or help you through the way.
So you transitioned and you did it pretty quickly compared to other people that I've spoken to. Like, it took years for them to even realize that they wanted to make this step. Like, this is where I want to be. Why not just stay a dominant woman? Was it because you really felt like a man? Like, was it not enough to be a dominant woman? Like, you had to be a man? Is that a bad question?
No, absolutely it's not. I said that I've been in corporate America 20 plus years, and I've worked in management 15, 16 of those years. You feel like, and I also said that I've always been related to as male in my household, in my community, when I walk out. So I had two closets. I had this sort of kind of Ellen DeGeneres dominant female closet when I go to work, and then I have this totally male closet, just like this, when I leave work. It started to become uncomfortable, and then I started fighting that. Then my productivity, I can tell you, I'll never forget. My productivity started going down because public speaking. You know, I've got to present in front of the VPs, and I felt like my mannerisms were very tough, very manly, and they're standing there looking at this supposedly female, and then, you know, when it's time to actually go customer facing out to the clients and have these conversations, I just felt like too many of my mannerisms were so masculine that my own self-esteem was suffering in my head, that I don't know how I presented them. I don't know if I did very well because they're looking at the female supposedly on paper.
So image.
Yeah, right. Image. But yeah, so
pause. We do have to pay a couple bills real quick, and we're going to come back and close this section out. All right.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
Hi, I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network.
You're live with your talk show divas. Sit back and relax and enjoy. Exciting, informative, and sexy. So get ready for your talk show divas.
Hello, hello, hello. We are back, and we have been having an awesome conversation on camera, even off, because this one had to ask some PMS questions and everything. She be wanting to know.
I do.
Nick, I mean, if there's any final words or whatever, because unfortunately the time has sped by with you. Like, oh, there's so much more we can talk about.
No, again, thank you, beautiful queens, for allowing me an opportunity to come and share a little bit. That's just that is just literally a tip of the iceberg. Yeah. There's so much more. Maybe we'll stay connected, and I invite you ladies somewhere where I am in Atlanta and give you an opportunity to really see and ask the questions that you want to ask. Thank you to the audience. You can find me on Facebook at Nick D. Coleman. That's Nick D. Coleman. Instagram _Devereux40 or ndevereuxenterprise.com.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for sharing that, answering our questions, and thank you guys for watching us. We love you guys, and it was an awesome, beautiful.
I won't be here next weekend, so.
Boo! I don't have a guest. Again, but thank you for tuning in, everybody, and we will see you next week. Minus Brandy. All right, take care.
You're live with your talk show divas. Sit back and relax and enjoy. Exciting, informative, and sexy. So get ready for your talk show divas.
Hi, I'm Michael Kyle, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party. All right, see ya.
Hi, I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Hi, I'm Harry.
You're live with your talk show divas. Sit back and relax and enjoy. Exciting, informative, and sexy. So get ready for your talk show divas.